And a happy Wine Wednesday. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, Maxwell. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm so excited for a glass of wine.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm going to go from
Um,
good to great.
yeah, it's so true. Um, hi guys, how's everyone doing today? Are we uh, are we is the chat working? First of all, that's what we have to. Vanessa, remember we had this problem last time?
I do remember. Yes.
And yeah, so is the chat not working, guys? Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to deal with
You have
this
to
again?
log out and how you
I-
fixed it last time. I think you just kicked your computer and it started working. You might try that again.
All right, let's try. I am not sure why this is not working, guys. Oh, wow. Someone posted a screenshot and it says no chat. Okay. All right. Let's, okay.
Boy.
Well, let's try something here. Let's try something. Let's try, what if I do, okay. All right. Is it, yeah, it's just not working.
Should we try restarting the meeting? I don't know. It's like what when you call the IT guy and they're like, "Did you restart your computer?" You're like, "Yes, that's the first thing I did. Thank you." But but then you do it again and then the computer works and you're like, "I swear I did that. It wasn't working." And they're like, "There's $300. There's your invoice."
What happened? You know what happened last time? Someone sent a super chat and it worked. And then it started. Yeah. So let me see if I can try. Hey guys, why don't I try to send a super chat to myself? Will that work?
I'm gonna level with you, Maxwell. I don't even know what a super chat is. So you're blowing my mind right now. I just
wow. Guys, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. I'm sorry, Vanessa. Bear with me for one moment here.
No problem. I have 2 bottles of wine in front of me, so
This is true.
I can be patient.
I mean, like,
yeah,
this is true. We're doing okay. All right,
guys.
I
mean, it could be worse. Yeah.
So hey guys, I just did a super chat to myself and it worked. we're in.
Seriously? That's what did it?
This is okay. This is fantastic. Well, okay. Hi, everybody. We're here. We're live, and I will look into this issue in more detail. For the next one, so we don't have this same issue, and we're not sitting here like dummies. But so Vanessa, a super chat is when people donate to the chat. Like they donate. Yeah, you can chat and then donate money at the same time.
Got it. Okay.
I just sent myself $1 and it made the chat work.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I have to say, like, I applaud your ingenuity because you fixed it. I was telling you to kick your computer, just for the record. I mean, you could try that first next time.
I mean, my computer's got some issues anyway, because like it's got this thing where it does like, it types like, I'll press the letter A and it types 3 A's.
Oh, no, that's what I have a new computer now, so it doesn't happen. But same thing, A button and the space bar. Same thing. I looked in crazy. Every word with an A was like, ah, and then like space, like 4 spaces between words. It was, yeah.
MacBook?
MacBook.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have a new one. It's fixed, but same issue. Why is that? I wonder. Do we use anyway? Yeah, that's interesting.
That is.
But if you
okay.
ever like got an email from me and I was like, "Hey, Mac,"
yeah,
that's why.
So annoying. All right. Well, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. All right, guys, we figured this out. I donated to myself, so this video has cost me $1. But oh, Dee Dee, thank you. Dee Dee sent a super chat, so thank you, Dee Dee. This is really weird. We're off to such a good start.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Well, anyway, it's Wednesday. Vanessa's here, and I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this all day. While I was busy. I was really busy today.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. But the last thing I was doing today was like working on my taxes, and I was like, well, now I have great incentive to drink wine.
Yes. I was not doing taxes, and I still feel incentivized to drink wine. So
yeah,
we're all here for a reason.
We are. But the reason is we have these 2 bottles, and so let's show these off. Also, Justin said, Vanessa, some people use super chats because they think they're funny and want Max to read some dumb joke they wrote. See, Justin sent a super chat, and it like highlights, and I see that.
Oh.
There you go.
Does he have also a dumb joke to read, or just?
Yeah, Justin, where's your joke? I need a joke with that, please. Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Tom. So yeah, so Justin, give us a joke as well while we explain some wines this evening.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited about these. So we've got kind of some really classic regions from the old world, which is Europe. So we have a Rioja, and we have a Toscana. So we're both in Spain and in Italy tonight.
Now, when you say old world, because it's the title of this video, that means Europe?
It does, and it's a way to kind of narrow the world of wine very quickly into what you're talking about. And it's I think I've mentioned maybe one of our chats before. It's not necessarily that fair because there are other countries and places in the world that have been making wine for centuries and centuries, but all of Europe we just call old world, and anything that's not Europe is the new world. So there you go. So
it's a new world.
Yes. But these are both old world countries, and there are certain characteristics that I think we might find that are part of like old world regions that are different than new world regions. But we'll find out, because we're gonna drink these.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So I know we were chatting before. We're trying to decide what to taste first, and we have also 2 very different vintages here, or 2 vintages that are 5 years apart. In terms of when the grapes were actually harvested, vinified, and started their process of winemaking and then maturation. And one is older, which is the Rioja, which is the 2010 vintage, and then the 2015 vintage for the Tuscana. And so my suggestion was that we start with the older wine and move older to younger, and that's generally what I suggest if you have a couple different vintages on the table, is to start older and move younger.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Why is that?
So, and this is not a like black and white, right or wrong, like better, worse. This is, you might talk to somebody else and, and they might suggest the opposite. I've always liked this because, as wines mature, as they become older, they start to kind of develop more sort of subtle, sort of more earthy notes, as opposed to kind of more fruit forward, or I call them, or you could call them primary notes. And sometimes when you taste something more subtle after something that's a little bit kind of more boisterous and forward, your palate kind of loses some of those nuances.
Got it. Okay. That makes
So I like to start with the more kind of, the ones that you might have to work just a little bit harder for, so that your palate is still really, fresh.
Okay. That's okay. Cool. That's makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. So yeah, 2010. Let's do
Okay,
this.
yes. So 2010 vintage. So
This is old.
Elsie,
This is
yeah,
pretty old. We don't usually do this far back,
no,
so this is fun. Yeah.
I think I'm interested to hear what you think. I'm gonna pour mine. But ooh, and you can actually, even if I didn't have this bottle in front of me and I poured this wine, I would probably just take a look at it and guess that it was a little bit older.
Oh, yes.
Because
Oh,
do you
wow.
see the color is a little bit more kind of garnet?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I love that we're doing this, because I think we've talked about looking at color before, and we've never actually had a wine that was old enough to really see this. But if you see, if you hold this up, I just have a piece of paper, but if you have a white background, or just do your best, if you kind of tilt it here at the rim and you look straight down through the bowl, do you see how the color actually gets lighter around the edges of the wine?
Yes, all
So
around here it's lighter.
Exactly.
Wow.
And sort of, and then at the core of the wine, it's still a deeper kind of more pigmented color. So this is what happens when red wines age. So they start to, they start to get lighter in general in color, red wines, because the tannins, which are in red wines, come from the skins of red grapes. They provide the wines their color. And as they age, they start to actually precipitate out of the wine in the form of sediment. Now I'm going like very far down a path right there. But the point is, as they age, they do start to get sort of lighter in color, but you'll start to notice it more around the rim of the glass. And so what we call this in wine speak is we'll say it's bricking at the rim, meaning it's starting to show its age. It's starting to have a different lighter color around the rim of the wine versus the center. Now, what does that really tell you? Other than age is nothing.
Okay.
It can't tell you, what the variety is, where it's from, what the quality level is, but it can start to give you a hint as to the age of what's in your glass. And this makes sense because it's over a decade old, right? Yeah.
Yeah, bricking at the rim.
Bricking at the rim.
I love it. Gosh, I always learn so much.
Oh, thanks, Maxwell. Well, I would love to chat about Rioja, but I feel like this wine is kind of calling me, so I kind of want to taste it first.
Let's go.
Okay,
let's do it.
So
yeah.
All right. So right off the bat, I'm getting a lot of, and I know that your nose and your palate are still.
My smeller is still broken,
but
slowly coming back.
Well, maybe this will speed your recovery, I'm sure. But I'll tell you what I noticed right off the bat. And granted, I know what's in my glass. It's not like I'm tasting this blind, meaning, I just have to figure it out. So I know what it is, but it's telling me very specific things that make sense, knowing that this is from the old world and that it's from Rioja. And that it does have this, do you get that kind of like earthy, sort of mushroomy, savory? There's almost like a leather note to it.
I definitely get earthy for sure, because I'm not getting those like bursting fruits that at all.
Yes, and two things exactly, and two things contributing to that. One is, of course, that this wine does have some maturity on it. It's a 2010 vintage, but also wines from the old world in general. Big generalization, but in general tend to be a little bit more savory than fruity. Combined with the fact that this has some age on it, as wines age, they get more earthy than fruity. Okay. But I'm getting sort of this, like, in terms of fruit, there's like, to me, some sort of wild strawberry, like some cherry, but it's almost like, have you ever had this like kind of dehydrated strawberries? Like you can get them dried out and then like sprinkle them on cereal or oatmeal. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a dried fruit note to it. And then definitely this sort of tobacco, like, earthy, savory. Again, sometimes people call it like church basement.
Church basement. Oh man, that's okay.
You
I get
know,
it.
yeah, it's kind of like
I
a
get it.
little
Yeah.
dusty, you
The church
know.
basement. Yep. Yep. Okay. But leather, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't get tobacco, but also maybe that's because my nose is broken and I actually can't smell smoke right now. So
It's not broken. It's just yeah, you're getting back in the swing. Let's just say that.
yeah.
So
All right.
okay. So let's
Let's
taste this.
try it. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my goodness. Cheers. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
So
Oh, I really like that.
I do too. It still has a lot of freshness to it, but
Yeah.
I definitely get that savory earthiness on the palate again. It's almost like what else can I compare it to? I like to use, mushroom is kind of an easy way, but it's kind of like dried herbs. Um, there's almost like a bay leaf note to it. It's like herbs, but not fresh herbs. Like,
Wow. I love this. You can definitely
awesome.
tell, like, I would be able to definitely tell you it's not from Napa. Like, I would know that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell now the difference, which is really cool. I think I could tell the difference between a old world and a new world wine. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Good,
Um,
because New World would be kind of more like flashy, right? Kind of like a little
yeah.
bit more forward
And
as a generalization. Yeah.
and these are, yes, it's a little more, I don't know. Exactly. This is a little more reserved than, like, your,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind
But
of it's like a wine to ponder, right? I feel like both of us sometimes we're like, we taste a wine, we're like, oh, and we just start, but it's like it
mhm.
kind of makes you where you're like, oh, I need to sort of pay attention to this wine. It's nuanced, and that makes sense because as wines age, they get more kind of layers of different elements coming out, versus a very young wine, which might be very fruit forward or fruit driven without those more savory elements. But this has
Uh,
both to me, kind of like right in the middle.
and I love that it's very just kind of smooth. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this, but the way that it
Hmm.
hits I don't know, the way it hits my mouth and my tongue, and I'm just like, this,
Yes.
this is going a
Well,
different direction now.
so that makes sense though what you're saying. I'm following
Right?
you. But yes, because well, two things. We talked about tannin and what they did with the color, right? But also as tannins, as a wine gets older, tannin also gives red wines that sort of backbone, the structure, also that drying sensation on your palate. Those comes from the tannins. And as a wine matures, as a red wine matures, as they start to kind of precipitate out of the wine, they also sort of soften. So that I do agree, this has this kind of very silky
Yeah.
texture to it,
Yeah.
because it's older. But there's also some other factors I think at play here. One is what is in this bottle and where are we, right? So we're in Spain, as I mentioned.
Spain.
Rioja is the region. It's the name of the region. It's kind of in north central Spain, and it's a place that's known for certain grape varieties, but also known for certain winemaking practices. So another thing I think that you're noticing with the way that you described it is the primary grape in this is called Tempranillo, which is sort of it's the best known grape for the region. It's what the region is sort of known for. But it also has, you can also use some other varieties in there like Garnacha or a grape
Mhm.
called Graciano, both of which are in this bottle in smaller quantities. But Tempranillo, which comprises most of this wine, it even in its youth has a sort of texture to the tannins that I describe as sandy. So
Sandy.
sandy. So there are certain varieties where not only am I assessing is this a low tannin, medium tannin, high tannin, but what does it feel like? What is the texture of it? How I describe it? So some tannins are grippy, you know, some are like more velvety, you know, and like Bordeaux varieties, sometimes I get this sort of very fine grained pixelated quality, and Tempranillo always feels sandy to me, like that very sort of smooth, like you're walking on a beach with that really, really fine sand that kind of, you know, it feels like it's a massage to walk down the beach.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking, because it's not the rocky sand beach. This is
it's not the Hawaii coral reef beaches. And it's not the Jersey Shore.
This is like, no, this is your picture perfect smooth sand.
Yeah, or like one of those sand dunes, like I'm picturing the movies, you know. Anyway, so those types of tannins are what I'm getting in this class. But then also, even though this wine, the vintage of it is 2010, and so it has some maturity, Rioja is also a region that's known for aging wine a long time.
Okay.
So not in every wine, but many wines are aged for a long time before release. So, and the idea with that was really that when you buy the wine, it's ready to drink. So many wineries will age it sometimes for, you know, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years plus, before they bottle it.
Is there a reason for that in Rioja?
You know, tradition, but part of it probably is some of the history of it, which is that, so bear with me just for a moment. So we're in Spain, obviously. We're in Rioja in Spain. But to backtrack a little bit, in the 1800s, there was a vineyard pest called phylloxera.
Phylloxera. I remember hearing about this. This is Rioja, by the way, guys. Right over here in Spain. Yep.
So phylloxera was devastating to vineyards. Like basically it devastated. I don't know what the percentage is, but like most, let's just say most is the percentage of vineyards, you know, in Europe, and then places, the New World, like Napa had issues with it too, but people did not know how to get rid of this pest that would just basically kill your vines. So what happened was that Rioja was already making wine, but kind of not that prominent. Phylloxera happened to Bordeaux. And Bordeaux had been making wines also for centuries, but sort of more well-known, more of it was exported. Like the Brits love Bordeaux, so they were already accustomed to drinking wines from the region. And so what happened is Bordeaux, huge trouble with phylloxera, right? They don't know how to solve it. They can't make wine. And so drinkers of wine, of fine wine, were like, where else can I get it? And Rioja had not been hit yet. So it sort of became discovered as a region for people to enjoy fine wines. Bordeaux is a wine that is enjoyed often with some age on it. So, you know, I'm sure that type of style appealed to those drinkers as well. But, you know, every region has sort of different law. We talked about this a little bit in previous sessions, in that, like, the New World, we don't generally have the type of wine laws. We do have them, but they're different. We have a lot more freedom here. But in regions, there just became sort of tradition, you know, to make a wine in a certain way. And then, you know, if you think about it, it helps the consumer understand what you're going to get. So if you're like, I make a wine in Rioja that is Reserva, meaning, you know, reserve, you know, it's going to have been aged a minimum of 3 years in barrel, and then another year in bottle before it's released.
Okay.
So you know you're going to get a wine that's of a certain character. Right. And so in some ways it's tradition, but in some ways it's almost like the most basic form of marketing, right? Like, I'm a wine drinker. What am I going to get? You know, how am I going to have an idea of what I'm going to get?
Yep. Right. Okay. So we okay. There you go, guys. Well, phylloxera history and
little history, but just two other things to know about the region. So there are these different levels. So as I mentioned, there, like, Joven is a wine you can get, which means basically young, meaning there's no aging requirements. You
Okay.
can get Crianza, which is a little bit more aged. You can get Reserva. This is before release, right? Before it's even been sent out into the market. Reserva and then Gran Reserva. So there are different levels of aging, and that's what it refers to. It's not a quality level per se, like we talk about Grand Cru vineyards, which are a higher quality. This is just an aging, and the length of aging before it's released. Does that make sense?
Yes. So Reserva. Now I know. Okay. Yeah. See, I think I was always thinking Reserva means reserve. So it's the good one.
Yeah, and in a way, you know, it has been aged longer, but it's not because it's from a better vineyard, or it's how long it stayed. Yeah, it matured before bottling.
Got it.
Or release.
That's really cool. Okay, so now I know. Okay, Gran Reserva just means it's aged longer.
Yes. Yeah, and just one other thing about the region is that they're also often known for using American oak. So we taste a lot of wines with French oak. And this actually has a combination of both. So it's not a law. You're not by law required to use American oak. But as a region, it sort of became known for this. It also, frankly, was an economic choice because American oak barrels now are, you know, can sometimes be as expensive as French, but they were less expensive. So it was often a way to for them to use oak barrels, because, you know, the Bordelais, they would take all the great, you know, French oak barrels and then be like, I don't care about you. So I just care about you. Yeah, I'm sure they care. I'm sure they care deeply, but, you know, they took them first. So so American oak barrels sort of became known for this region, but oftentimes now you'll see a combination of American and French, or just French too, in the region. But the two types of barrels, depending on where they're from, can have a different impact on the wine in terms of how it smells and tastes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So do we know what barrel this was in?
So this was in a combination of French oak and American oak. And when I say combination, I don't mean same barrel, French oak, American oak together. I mean, they used some American oak, and then they used some French oak, and then, you know, blend the wine together before bottling.
They didn't just mesh up. And
that would be kind of cool, actually. I wonder if anybody has ever done that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Save the time of blending later. We'll just provide you a hybrid. Yeah.
Wait. I have a funny question.
Okay.
So when I opened this wine, there was also like this little coin almost that was on top of the cork.
Yeah.
What?
It's just well, I think Il Centimo, I think it means cent, like the name of this.
Oh, just translated into, that's their little gimmick.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, did I find gold?
It's like that. What's it? The golden ticket. You have the golden ticket. You have the golden wine ticket.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. All right. It's just decorative. All right.
Can you use this to pay for a super chat?
Pay for a super chat. Yeah, this was my super chat that got the entire video started, guys. My $1. Oh my gosh. Speaking of chats, Vanessa, there's a lot of comments here. So
goodness. Okay.
Let me see what. Okay. People are really admiring your background and the lamp in particular. The lamp. We need some explanation on the lamp.
Okay. Thank you for commenting, because this is a new background for me. I appreciate. Thank you guys for noticing. This is new. Essentially, I used to just sit at my dining room table, and it was kind of a big pain because I had like stuff, my computer and bottles everywhere, and then I would have to clear it all off and then put it back. You know, so yes, thank you. So this is my new little setup in my den, and yes, this is made by a friend of mine. So it's a Magnum of 1985 Moet and Chandon champagne with a little, and then I found this at World Market. Whoops, I shouldn't touch it too.
Yeah, don't. Okay, yeah, good. It looks
Thank you
great.
guys. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've tried it out on Wine Wednesday, so this means a lot. Thank you.
It looks great. Everyone is very, very excited about it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, like Zara said, is that a champagne lamp? Alexa, oh,
It is.
Zara called it. Yeah, Moet, Vanessa's background on point, says Leilani. Yep. Hey, Ryan said on Amazon, search bottle lamp kit and you can find the lamp adapter and then find a suitable lampshade. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, because some friends of mine, we drank this bottle together, and then another friend of mine, I think, did the adapter, and then I just found that because this looked like little bubbles to me, like in champagne, this shade.
I love it. The background looks awesome. Also, by the way, Leilani, thank you for the super chat. Cheers to you. Justin did tell a joke, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Justin said, what did the grape say when the elephant stood on it? Nothing. It just let out a little wine. Oh, man.
I've never been able to guess. You know how some people can like guess the punchline? I've never been able to do that. I just have to wait.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just let out a little wine.
So that's okay. I know my strengths and weaknesses. It's all right.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonelle, for the super chat. This is okay. Oh, Maddie, you were confused by the coin too. Maddie has this wine and she was confused too.
Yeah. It's their little, they're having a little fun.
Look, I love your background. I think it's awesome. I was like, well, now you're making me jealous. Do you know I actually have a little bit of a wine but I just need to put the table there. And then I would have a wine background too, because look at this. Wait, can I just show you? Come over here.
Let's see.
Come on over. So, because here, I've got, it's like a wine and Taylor Swift background.
Oh.
Well, here's the, my two wine fridges, right?
Yeah.
And then I've got this like random wine thing and Taylor's Lover album. And then I have this M with the corks in it, which we got to fill up.
Gotta drink more.
Wine snob book. And then there's folklore back there. But yeah, and then this like wine puzzle, which is I framed and it's got all the labels.
I like your background just as it is.
Okay.
You just be you.
Yeah, because this is like, okay.
I'm gonna also tell you that that part of it was just so for ease and necessity, since like I think I'll be working from home for quite a while to like have my little setup, but also because my dad does like to watch some things I do online, and he always comments that I need books in the background. To which I said, Dad, I'm a master of wine. Do I really need books to show that I've studied? And he said, yes.
All right, Dad. Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
It looks beautiful.
All right. Thank you.
It's great. And this wine is great.
I'm glad you like it.
I really do.
Another one.
Yeah, we do have another one. Should we get on to that?
I feel like it's calling to me. But if there are questions, I'm happy to keep talking about that. I do have one.
Are there any other questions on Rioja before we move over to Italy? I'm gonna have another sip here.
Can I tell you something that's strange to me while you're sipping that? Is that well done, you. So I don't understand this, and maybe if there's anyone in your community or in the chat that can explain this to me, but British people, at least in the wine trade, they like to call Rioja Rioja. Like they put a necessary k in there, like Rioja. And there's no reason that I can possibly understand. I've really tried to understand this.
Rioja. Okay, wait.
There's no.
Are there
no
any British people in the chat? Wait, Ryan's British. Do you say Rioja? Let's find out, because I know we got one Brit watching right now for sure.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on that
Um,
one Brit right now. Explain yourself. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
Ryan,
No, it's just kind of funny. I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Jay Brown had a question. What's the most prized wine variety, most prized Spanish wine varietal?
I'd say probably Tempranillo is kind of the country's most famous. Garnacha is also planted for a red grape. Garnacha is pretty prevalent. There's some other varieties like Carignan you'll find in places like Priorat, but I'd say like Tempranillo is kind of like the calling card of in terms of a red variety for Spain. Great question.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ryan says, yeah, I do say Rioja.
Rioja.
What?
Right? It's a thing. It's a thing.
What?
It's okay, Ryan. I'm cool with it. I gave up long ago trying to understand. I just roll with it now. So I hope you enjoyed your glass of Rioja.
That's really strange. What is up with that, Ryan? I don't get it. But to be fair, they do pronounce a lot of things very strangely. I mean,
That's true. They do. They do.
like whenever you watch like the Great British Bake Off or like The Crown or whatever, and you're like, what is this? What, did they really just call it basil? Or
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. It's not limited to wine. It's a known issue. Just leave it there.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right. We're done with the
done.
Rio.
Done with that. Okay. Not saying I'm not going to go back to it later, but I did pour the Monte Antico. So
Okay.
so
Monte
we are
Antico.
in Tuscany. So now we're in Italy.
Woo!
Right. A beautiful place in the world. Have you been?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Gorgeous, idyllic. I mean, how many movies and books and songs and poems have been written about it? It's gorgeous place in the world. So we're in central Italy. And the region kind of runs from the coast inland, and it goes all the way from sort of flat lands all the way to very, very hilly. And it's a Mediterranean climate, so fairly dry. Very similar actually to Napa Valley in many ways.
Okay.
Climate wise. And so maybe we should taste it first, but we're also tasting, to go back to the question about like Spain and what was the most prized, or I should say well-known variety being Tempranillo. We have in our glass what I would consider one of, if not the, there's a couple of contenders in there, but one of, if not the best known grape variety for Italy.
Okay.
All right. So it's a little younger, right? This is a 2015 versus the 2010 vintage of the Rioja or Rioja, if you're Ryan. And so right off the bat, I get a little bit more kind of, we were talking about dried fruit on the Rioja. This has a little more kind of like juicy fruit to it, juicy fresh berries, a lot of cherry on this as well, I think, but kind of a little bit, I don't mean tart in a bad way, like, but not like fully ripe and juicy and you're going to make jam out of it, right? It's kind of a
no.
But lots of sort of, I think cherry, there's some darker fruits in here, maybe red and black cherry. I also get a little bit of, actually a lot of floral notes to it, like rose.
I smell
like almost like rose water.
I'm smelling the cherry.
Okay.
For sure. Are there a couple of people that are having this one right now with us? Tom's having this. He's smelling cherry.
Yep. I get also some dried herbs on this. Also, almost like not quite as dried as the Rioja, but so like somewhere between fresh and dried herbs. But there is a savory note to this as well, like a roasted herb note. Like if you roast, like, okay, no, all right. Sometimes you put it in the oven in like a stew or like on a braise or something. And so you have the fresh herbs, but then they've cooked, you know, a little bit
Yes.
in the oven. And
Yes.
so that's what I'm getting on this. And there is a little bit of a smoky note as well, but you said you weren't sensing smoke quite yet with your nose, which is still getting online from.
Yeah, I think that I'm still off on those smells. So it's honestly so weird, like the smells that are more predominant for me at this point. This is very odd, but it also, let me tell you this, but then when we taste it, it's also allowing me to explore a little bit more of how it feels. Since I'm not getting the smells like I usually would, I'm more focused on the
that's a great, honestly,
weird.
that's a great way to learn to kind of dig a layer deeper into wine, is to do that. And I know we've talked about before, but that's so much of my experience of wine is beyond the aromas and the flavors, but the feeling, the texture, the kind of shape on the palate. Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
Anyway, I think a lot going on in the nose for me personally. There's
Okay.
there's some complex things happening. So let's taste it though.
Let's taste it. Yeah.
Yeah. The acid is higher than the Rioja, right?
Yeah. So
like,
yeah. Yes, juicy. And oh, wow. Yeah, there's the that is wow. What is this? I'm sorry.
Okay. So this is from Tuscany. It's predominantly Sangiovese. And Sangiovese is a variety that has a very, very fresh acidity to it. It's often, Sangiovese is also the grape. We're not in Chianti, we're in Toscana, the region, but Chianti is based on Sangiovese, and sort of it's kind of most traditional pairing is like, Chianti and red sauce, right? Whether it's on a pizza or a pasta, and that's because tomato has a very high acidity as well. And so they kind of work very harmoniously together. So it's mostly Sangiovese. Sangiovese also known for those kind of tart, sour, cherry type notes we were getting on this. A little bit more structured tannin than on the Rioja, but still not super high, right? Like my mouth feels a little dry, but it's not intensely dry.
No, this is a little more if I'm let me take another step. I want to take another step here. Okay. What? Yeah, I'm getting like a not to say that it's like tart, but it's doing something to me where I'm like
I think it's the acidity. I think it's the acidity, because mine too, my mouth is definitely watering. I feel a little bit of that. You feel that kind of pucker, not just, but like kind of back here.
Yeah.
You have nerves back here that sometimes acidity can kind of tweak. And so I sometimes feel wine acidity all the way back here.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel my mouth watering here, and sometimes I feel it kind of all the way back. So
because it's almost doing the same thing to me that a lemon would do to my like mouth, which is wild in a wine, but yeah,
you're exactly right. And Italy, and this is, again, these are huge generalizations, right? But Italy in general, like when I was blind tasting, let's say for the MW exam, it tends to be a country that no matter what the variety has a sort of brighter acidity to it. It's just, and these are, again, why it's sort of so great with food. Like, I don't know what you're having for dinner, but this, I bet if you try it with food, is going to be gorgeous, because it kind of, that brightness will wake up your palate.
We're doing pasta tonight with
know what, perfect. Yeah, that's gonna be so great.
Yeah, I knew, I was like, we gotta have pasta tonight. I just feel like this is
yeah
what we're trying tonight's gonna go with. Yeah, yeah. This is hmm.
So kind of fun story about Tuscany. So there are many different sort of famous regions and wines made in Tuscany. We mentioned Chianti, and then there are different levels of Chianti. Chianti Classico, Brunello is another very famous wine from Tuscany on the red wine side. And then there are things like the white wines like Trebbiano or Vernaccia di San Gimignano. Again, all really just for whites, kind of brisk, high acid, and for those reds, you know, based on Sangiovese mostly, which is where I'm going because there are some exceptions. And very food friendly, and varying really in sort of, you know, you can spend a little bit of money, you can spend a lot of money, you know, in Tuscany, and really find some delicious wines at every price point. But what I didn't mention so far in this bottle is that there are also some what we know as Bordeaux varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot in this. So it's actually 10% Cabernet Sauvignon, and then 5% Merlot. And so just a fun kind of interesting history about something that happened in Tuscany back in the day. So this was in the 1940s, is there was sort of, you know, we talked about wine rules and wine laws at places in the old world. And so really only, you know, Sangiovese based wines with, you know, a little bit of this blended in, a little bit of that were allowed, but it was very much based just on Sangiovese. And so there was a gentleman whose name I had to write down, and I'm probably not going to say right, but Mario Incisa della Rocchetta. Sounds like that should be I don't know, something should be named after him on a menu somewhere. I'm sure it is, actually.
Yeah. Is my mom here? Mom, was that right? Mom, was that right on the pronunciation? No, we'll check. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm nervous because moms don't lie, but unless they're being kind, sometimes they do, just a little bit, just a little. But anyway, so this guy was like, I don't want to make Sangiovese. I want to try something new. But you like literally couldn't and call it a wine of the region. You couldn't call it Chianti. This region of called what's known as Tuscana now didn't exist yet, right? So you're just kind of in no man's land. So he took these cuttings of Bordeaux varieties that came from Chateau Lafite, which is one of the, you know, very top wineries, not just in Bordeaux, but really in the world. And he planted it in this place on the Tuscan coast, and everyone was like, you're nuts. What are you doing? But he really experimented with it and perfected this kind of Bordeaux varieties. Turns out it's a great growing region for things like Sangiovese, plus things like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. And so he started making this wine and people loved it, but there was no legal labeling of it in terms of law. So he just had to call it a vin de tavola, which means basically a table wine. He could only label it like Italy table wine. Which normally you would associate with like the cheapest, right? Buy it in a jug. But it turns out it was exceptional quality. And his wine, which came to be called Sassicaia, which is now one of the most famous wines in the world, was getting these prices, like skyrocket prices for a table wine, as opposed to wines like Brunello or Chianti Classico. And so eventually the wine laws actually changed and adapted around this wine that he made to accommodate producers who wanted to do the same thing. So it's kind of, it's interesting how like wine can be so traditional and people fit in these laws. And every once in a while, someone does something different and people are like, oh, that's really delicious. I'm going to change things. And so anyway, there you go. So now this region, Tuscany, and there's a whole category of wine that we call super Tuscans, which are wines that have, you know, Italian varieties, but can include Bordeaux varieties or could be all Bordeaux varieties, but grown in Tuscany. And that's what, if you hear the word super Tuscan, that's what that means.
Super Tuscan. And we've heard that before. I mean, a lot.
Yes. Yeah, the super Tuscan. And so to talk about sort of wine language, again, super Tuscan doesn't mean it's a quality level that's different. It means it's a wine from Tuscany that is not based solely on Sangiovese. It can be Sangiovese, but plus Bordeaux varieties, or in some cases, like there's a wine called Massetto, which is all Merlot.
Okay.
So it's a region that allows for Bordeaux varieties plus Italian varieties, and they can be all just mashed in there together.
Super Tuscan.
A super Tuscan.
There you
Yes.
go. There you go.
That
Okay,
is-
now we know. Now we know why that happened. All these laws.
I know.
It's just like, yeah, there's so many. Why?
Yes.
You said table wine. It made me think about this when I was in Italy. If I get a table wine when I'm in Italy, it's actually pretty good.
I know. And
if
you
you
drink
get-
it out of a tumbler.
Yeah, like
That's
a
great.
table wine at a restaurant in Italy is good. Table wine in America is disgusting. So what's up with what's like what's going on there?
Oh man, part of it could be sometimes things also taste better when you're on vacation.
Oh, is that what it is?
Sometimes.
Is it just because they're like, is that what it is?
I think that could be 5% of it, but I don't know. I think there are a lot of kind of small producers in Italy that, and plus they just are making very small quantities, really, that they love. They're not necessarily like, big production. So you can find, not that big production is bad, but you can find a lot of these little small, producers making just a table wine, but it can be really delicious and kind of heartfelt, which I think is really special quality in a glass. Okay. But I agree. Sometimes just the table wine in Italy are like, this is delicious.
Yeah, because when I was there with my parents, we would always just get the house wine at the restaurant we went to, and they tasted great.
Well, I think a lot of wines there also, they don't necessarily, they're not going to make enough to make it commercially viable to like market it and export it to other countries. And so they just make really great wine that are just meant to be enjoyed there. And it doesn't mean they're not delicious, but you're not going to.
Yeah. Okay. And this tastes like one of those. It's just like, oh yeah, this tastes like a Tuscan wine, and it's. I have a couple questions.
Kind of like charming and yes.
For you, by the way.
Okay.
Let's see. So
like that. Good.
Right. Ryan wanted to know, our British friend, by the way.
Oh, I know Ryan.
Yeah. He wanted to know, do you like Lambrusco, as in the sparkling red wine from Emilia Romagna? What is this?
Emilia Romagna. Yes, I do. So Lambrusco is a sparkling red wine. It can also be made in rosé, by the way, which we have in the Wine Access store if you'd like to try it. But yes, to Ryan's point, I do. So Emilia Romagna is by many considered like the best food region in all of Italy, which is already amazing, right, for its cuisine. And Lambrusco is a sparkling red, which the best producers, it's completely dry. I actually have one in my fridge. I'm really dying to crack open. It can be made in a sweeter style, and that was popular for a long time, but it's really not made that way anymore, at least by any quality producers. So it's super fun. It's really, I mean, if you've never had one, in fact, we should try one sometime together, but they're super food friendly. I know that seems weird, like a sparkling red wine, but they're like just so refreshing.
Right.
And food friendly.
Okay. Yeah. He was actually saying that it's amazing on a sunny day with pasta.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
True. It's really cool that, a sparkling red wine, that's so unique. It's really cool. Yeah. I like that.
Another place that makes sparkling red wine is Australia. It makes sparkling Shiraz, which I'm not as big of a fan of, to be honest, but don't tell anyone that's outside of this chat.
Okay, so like the Lambrusco better.
But Lambrusco, I like, yeah.
Do you, Miniature Missy said, to what extent are wine laws still in effect today in Europe? And how much of that is to maintain tradition? Do we ever?
Very much still in effect. Very much. It's much more the exception that something would get changed. versus the rule. So yeah, and it's you know, they're meant to, it's tradition, but it's meant to also it's meant to protect the name of the region. So it's like, you know, we talked about champagne can't be called just champagne, even if it's made the same way,
Sure.
if it's not from the region. And so it's supposed to sort of protect, it's like a trademark, right, of that region in terms of what you're going to get. But it's also, you know, in its most pure sense, supposed to also give you an indication of what you're going to get in the bottle, so that you're not like, oh, I'm going to buy this bottle of champagne, and you're like, wait, this is from Texas and it doesn't taste anything like I thought it was going to taste like. You know, no knock to Texas, they make wine too, but do you know what I mean? Like, it might not taste like what you're expecting, and so it's a way for them to kind of protect like the qualities that people associate with that region in terms of what's in the glass.
Okay. There you go. Cool. We
Yeah.
love it. I gotta
Yep.
while we're drinking this Italian wine, I have to show you this.
Okay.
This is me and my mom in Italy, in Tuscany. Look at us with our wine.
Look at you. That's how everyone looks. They're just happy, glass of wine in hand.
And then I gotta show you this other one. I had too much hair back in the day. Oh, long hair. Oh, it's not great. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's really the only two expressions people have in Tuscany. Either that one or the like.
Yeah, I had to break those out. Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? That's all you need. That's really all you need. Those two expressions.
It's true. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I know we're at time. This was super fun, and I think we're planning. Obviously, yes, this was needed. This was needed today. But I think we're gonna plan some more sets.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna do another set, guys. So get ready. Yeah.
Yes.
We are.
TBD.
Yeah,
details
TBD.
to come.
Yeah, Vanessa and I were talking about the next sort of journey we want to take you guys on and ourselves, really, because
yes, right. I mean, it's mostly selfish. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
also
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah. So once we come up with the wines for the next set that we're gonna do, I will let you know, and then so you guys can actually go purchase them on Wine Access and taste with us, because it's so much more fun when you guys are tasting along. And like, I know like the people that were doing it today can attest to that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. And then the next set we're gonna do, is gonna be really unique. So
yes.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Like really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's so great to be here and with the community, and so thanks for the great questions, everyone, and I hope you had fun. And Max, it's great to see you as always.
Yeah, this was great. I'm step by step coming along. The smells are coming back. The tastes are good. I think the only solution to really help me gaining my smell and taste back is to just keep drinking more wine. So
obviously,
yes.
If you went to your doctor right now, he would be like, taste more wine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, it's true. The doctor actually was like, just keep doing your normal thing. He's like, push yourself. He did. He said, push yourself, go do things, smell things, keep doing what you, I was like, oh, thank you. So yeah.
Thank you.
All part of recovery.
Yes. Wow. I think you were on point today. So
Thanks.
Sounds like you're if not totally back in action, you're mostly there.
Yeah,
which is great to see.
It's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Thanks so much for having me as always. And we'll be in touch. We'll figure out our next wine set, and then we get to taste it together.
Gonna be fun.
Cool. All right. Thanks so much. Okay. Bye.
Bye. There you go. Okay. We are coming back. Let me tell you guys, the smell, the tastes are coming back, and I think each time that I actually do have wine, I do smell new things. It's good. It's good. Well, that was great. She's the best, right? She's the best. Okay, here's what I want to do before I leave you and go have some pasta. I now, okay, I just poured the Rioja in here. Okay. Okay, I just poured the Rioja in here. And I want to pour the Monte Antico Toscana in here. Okay. Just a little bit more. And what I want to do now is kind of test myself because this is really part of my whole, I'm telling you, it's all part of my whole recovery. Smelling the wine. Okay, so. Right. Now you can actually see them next to each other. Oh, wow. Do we remember? Okay, here's a pop quiz, guys. What did we call it when the wine has this thing going on around the outer edge, but then the inside is the richer color, but then it gets a little lighter on the outside? Do we remember the name of what she called it? Okay. Trying to get, do we remember? Little pop quiz to see if you guys were paying attention. Were we paying attention to this thing? Okay. Yeah, Jonelle actually got it first there. The bricking the rim is actually, so Leilani actually got it first. Bricking. Look at this. We have bricking rim, bricking the rim, bricking at the rim. Wait, which one was it now? Was it bricking the rim? You know what? You all get it. It's great. Because Joy said bricking rim too. Is bricking the rim. So I can verify that, man, my nose is definitely not back to its original state, because when I smell these two wines, they should smell, very different, but they don't smell very different to me. Very, Now, do they taste different? Do they actually taste different? So what I want to do is, let's taste them. Okay. 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 Right. Okay. And now this guy. Okay. Yeah, they taste different. Okay. Woo. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's so fascinating. This is so fascinating to me. Woo. Because I'm really, since I've had COVID and since I've recovered and since I'm still in the recovery process in some parts of my life, meaning smell and taste, I'm using different kind of parts of my taste buds to determine which was which. Really interesting. Because like I can tell that I can tell what the one from Italy was because of the acidity more than the taste. And it's just because of you know, what's going on with my taste buds still. They are almost back, but they're not fully back. So it is it's so weird. It is really weird. Let me have some water while I, okay. Okay, let me try this. Wow. So the one from Italy, Tuscany, it's like that's the one that's like, boom. And who's having this one with me right now? Tom, you having this right now, right? And yeah, Tom, the Padres did the thing. They paid Tatis. Good move. Little baseball top there. Tom, you get that real cherry kind of thing, right? On the one from Tuscany. Definitely. Definitely get that cherry. When I have my pasta tonight, I'm really interested to see how this goes with that, because I've got some tomato sauce and veggies going on. Yeah, but because but the way I can differentiate things now is really kind of on the body of the wine, the acidity, and like we were talking about with Vanessa, you know, how it makes my mouth feel. Black cherry, totally, Tom. It is black cherry. I get that. And I'm not really getting the earthier notes. When she was talking about the earthier stuff on this one, which is the one from Spain, I don't really get them. But what I do get is what she was talking about tasting the older wine first and then the younger one. Because when I taste, she's so right. But of course she's right. I mean, come on. When I taste this guy from Tuscany, which is from what, 2015. It's more like, hey, what's up? Yeah. And when you taste the, hey, what's up? And then you taste the, hey, how you doing? From 2010, it's, you know, you understand why you want to taste the older one first, because this one is like, boom, and this one's like, hey, how you doing? So I don't know if that makes any sense, because, you know, I've had a bunch of wine and I have not eaten a thing since like noon, but you know. But I think Alexa, you got to do. The first time Alexa had an Old World wine, you thought it had gone off because you were so used to New World. I'm telling you, New World it really kind of punches you in the face a little bit first. You know, the one from Italy here is a little more New World because it does kind of get you, but still not enough where like a Napa wine really kind of, you know. I was doing some voiceover work for you there. See, it's true. I was doing some voiceover work. This guy's like, hey, what's up? You know? And then there's this guy. Well, I've just come up with a whole new career for me, just voicing wines, right? It's true. Because this one's like, hey, I'm here and I'm ready. And this one's like, oh, just chill, little guy. Smooth tannins. Right? That's what it is. Oh man, I gotta eat. What she was saying though about sand with the Spanish wine, yeah, yeah. It's like when you're walking in on the beach, you get that smooth wine going through your toes. Oh man, I love that. Did I just say smooth wine going through your toes? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is this my cue to exit? Oh no. You know, you hit that point of the wine Wednesday sometimes where I wonder what smooth wine going through your toes would feel like. Actually, if you need to know, you just get this one, the El Centimo from Spain. Right? Oh, no. All right. What? Oh, gosh. You know, oh, geez. Did we just come up with something here, though? I should do wine voices for my new podcast. Yeah, probably. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is wild. You know, Buzzed Max doing wine voiceovers. It would be good, Alexa. I agree. This is good stuff. That is I think it works. I really think it works. This could be a thing. What voice does this wine have, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's sort of the same thing when I was doing my buddy Ian from Smith Devereux Wines. He always asks me, what wine what does this wine make no. What wine? No, let's try this again. Oh God. What attraction at Disneyland does this wine make you think of? Which is a game he likes to play with me. So it's sort of along the lines of that. So like this wine could be like what voice is this wine, or what Disney attraction does this wine make you think of? Right? Is this totally ridiculous, or does it make sense? Or is it only making sense to me right now because I've had the amount of wine that I've had? What ride pairs with this wine, right, Miniature Missy? Oh, Joyce, what do those emojis mean? Wait, but does this make sense? I woke up thinking about this the other day, actually. I did. I woke up thinking about it the other day. And now that I'm having this wine, I'm like, maybe this does make sense. But we got, and does it make any sense, or is it just because I'm drinking too much wine tonight? I don't know. We'll have to we'll have to talk about this. You guys seem to think it makes sense, but would it make sense to the rest of the world? Because here I am on a Wednesday evening holding 2 glasses of wine, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a $1 million idea. But you know, I'm gonna just cheers to it. That wine from Spain is so smooth, guys. I don't know what it is about tannins that are 11 years old. 11-year-old tannins, let me tell you, smooth. Whoa. Compared to them younger tannins that are just popping out of this. Okay. All right. Well, let's play this game right now before I eat. Okay. Let's do that. Let's play this game right now to see if this actually would work. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. If we had to think of a specific Disney attraction for our wine from Spain, which I will pour again. Okay. Okay. Just a little bit. So how do we determine what a wine from Spain 2010 smooth? What Disney attraction pairs with a wine that is older, smooth, a little earthy? Okay. Spain, smooth, earthy, sandy. Are we doing more like it's a little old? We got to go old here. We got to go old. Sand, though. A lot of us think pirates. It could work. Yeah. Could actually work. Yeah. It actually would be a great wine to drink on pirates while you're on pirates, let's say. A Little Mermaid, any ride that is really long and slow moving, because as Vanessa told us, it feels like this is a wine that you want to kind of get to know. It has to be a long ride where you're, yeah, just kind of, yes, where you just like rolling along and cruising along. Okay. But it's smooth. Okay. Oh, this actually could work then, maybe. This actually could work. Right, Zara, because we've got Blue Bayou, Club 33. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that Oh, the railroad is a really good one, actually, Robert. Yeah. It's a good one, too. Okay. But then where do we go when we go to the New World? This isn't the New World at all. It's Italy. I don't know why I said it. Because while this one is obviously a younger wine from Italy, it's still not as young, let's say, as a California New World Zinfandel from Napa. You know what I mean? So if we're trying to find a, and 2015 is still like not new, it's not young. What is a wine that's really what is a really high acidity ride? Let's think of an attraction where you're like, what attraction would make you like have that lemon kind of lemony pucker feeling? Because that's what this one does to me. It really gives me that like, like what is that? It's more of like an Indiana Jones. There's the snake. You know what I mean? Oh, Tom, you said Alice for the for this one. That's a pretty good one. I can't believe this. I can't believe where this conversation has gone. Is this an actual thing? Do we really think that this could be a thing? Yeah, Leilani, it could be dinosaur as well. I don't know. I think it really could be a thing. It's really kind of fascinating to think about it, honestly. And what I also love about this is that you could do it with, you could possibly do it with food too. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be wine. Like it, like let's say you're just eating a, I don't know, a chicken nugget. What does a chicken nugget pair with, right? What ride? You know, like did I feel like this could really be a thing. We can pair wine and food to an attraction and talk about it. It all makes sense. Now, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, did we just talk about that last night? That makes no sense. I don't know. If you think this makes sense, I would love to kind of talk more about it. Yeah, a chicken nugget. Oh my gosh, this is a real thing. I'm seeing your chats here. This is a thing. What? This is good. Oh man, this is good. Oh yeah, teal wine for Galaxy's Edge, Zara. Yeah, that's right. They do sell it there. Where can I get that? Oh man, this is crazy. This is fun. We're having a good time tonight on Wine Wednesday. We have shifted from tasting old world wines to now trying to figure out what wine is the Disney attraction. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, there's a whole world of this. Toy Story Midway Mania is Lodi Zinfandel. Fun for the glass. This is crazy. I think we're kind of I think we're onto something. I actually think we are onto something. Okay. All right. You know what? We really might be onto something. Okay. This is wild to actually see all of you come up with your own sort of pairings here too. This is great. We're doing it. This is actually it could be the birth of something very special that's happening right here. And of course it comes from drinking wine from the old world, right? Yeah. Could be a coffee table book, Anna. I like it. Now, does the coffee table book also double as a coffee table, like Kramer? But this is good. This is good. This is good. We're having our own little cheesy pop brainstorm session after a couple glasses of wine. I am loving this. I'm really loving this. This is a good time. Man, oh, this is so true. I do need a whiteboard. Oh. Matterhorn is definitely like ice wine from Canada, Ryan. It's like the ice wine they serve at the Epcot Pavilion, the Canada Pavilion in Epcot during whatever festival. Oh man, this is great. This is good. I'm telling you, we might have something here to kind of go forward with. I'm gonna have to think about this a lot more, obviously, everybody. But it's very possible that we could have something here. Yeah. Very possible. See, Alice would pair well with something really crazy, Janelle. So, yeah, it has to be out there. A dessert wine. Yes, definitely. It's got to be like, oh, yeah. This is fascinating. This could be a thing. Oh, man, that's actually really funny. Ryan, the small world Pinot Noir, but nice enough for the first time around, but you really need the third time around. Oof. Ouch. Ryan's over here dissing small world and Pinot at the same time. Oh gosh, this is good. This is wild. All right. Yeah. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. We might have done something tonight, guys. This is what happens when you taste some wine from Spain and you taste some wine from Italy, and then you get a group of us crazies together and right? Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna think on this and ruminate. Ruminate is a good word, right? Ruminate on this. But I think we might have something here. I really do. I think we might have something here. This is pretty good. I definitely got to go eat. Got my pasta. So we're gonna go eat, but I think we might have done something. This is good. Really fun. Really good night. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Yeah, Didi, imagine all of us on a boat of pirates. Oh my gosh. Rowdy bunch on that pirate's boat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're doing this. This is good. Pasta time. Zara and I, we both eating pasta for dinner tonight. High five on that. This is it. We did it. It is so true, Tom. This is how dreams become reality through multiple glasses of wine. Which one is which? That's smooth right there. And that's the Tuscan. Yay! I know the difference. We still got it, guys. Okay. I have a lot to think about. I'm gonna eat food and then think about this some more. But I think we may have something here. This is what dreams are made of. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Anna, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Gonna go eat my pasta. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This was awesome. Really, really super fun. I'm gonna go think about this. Both wines are amazing, by the way. Really good stuff. They're both on Wine Access if you want to go get them. And we're gonna go think about this. I swear I will be thinking about this now. Yeah. Okay. Have a great rest of your evening, guys. Hey now. This is what dreams are made of. I really gotta eat pasta. Okay. Good night, everybody.